Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Weekly Games Chat. I am your host, Chris. As always, joined by my co-host, Sean.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing?
And John.
Hi.
Hey.
You sound great, John.
And
I feel good.
What? Hold up, John.
returning to the table.
Wait, what?
I think this is like a record for us now. I think he's our most returning guest.
You think that?
I think so.
Well, he has to invite himself.
That's true.
He basically reached out and said, I'm coming on the show next week.
Still
It's
be
like-
there at this time on this date? Yes.
He can't take a hint.
I mean, I'm glad he's here because I didn't finish the game.
But
That's true.
We do like him a lot. Batman.
He's
is
actually
awesome.
Overwatch man today.
Oh, yeah.
He is Overwatch man today.
And he made the mistake of wearing a black shirt here because as soon as he sat down, Penny was just like,
Oh,
"What
dog
up?"
hair. Dog
Yeah,
hair city.
yeah.
Yeah.
Penny was actually sitting on his face, which is a horrifying image.
Single
There
file,
it is.
ladies.
But Casey, welcome back.
Hey,
Thanks,
Casey.
thanks.
From
Good to be
Geek
here.
Versus.
Yes, indeed.
Single file.
Single file.
Single file.
Names in the bucket.
Free
so-
mustache rides.
I guess the big nerd thing of the week, besides the game we're going
What?
to talk about,
What?
mustache rides,
Yes.
is Ready Player One finally came out,
Yeah.
and 3 people saw it.
I did.
That's all? Man, that tanked.
Actually,
wait,
I
who
think they
didn't
made,
see
like-
it at this table?
John,
Oh my God!
yeah, no, it's just the way he is.
But you didn't read the book either, right?
Not only did he not
Yeah.
see it, but the week before I was like, hey, you want to go see Ready Player One together? And he's like, yeah, that sounds good. Just let me know.
I was a bit wishy-washy.
Yeah, but you said, all right.
Were you like a buoy in the ocean?
Wishy-washy, but then it eventually...
Waving
Okay.
back and forth.
Just for the record, the plan was Saturday.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh.
And that got bumped
Because of
to
Yeah.
Friday.
yeah.
So
It did.
it
It
just
moved
didn't
to
work
Friday.
out. I couldn't do it.
It
I
did.
couldn't do it either with them. I ended up
mean-
going with Sean.
I could have gone Saturday.
Well,
I mean, Tony.
to be
doesn't-
honest, I thought you were in that group. I
And-
thought you went to see it with
It's
them.
all Tinley's fault
it is all
because she had to go to build a bear.
I mean, I could have played Sea of Thieves too, but,
Jeez.
whatever. Let's...
He's throwing daggers today.
Yeah.
He's
coming
coming
out the gate swinging.
Yeah.
Well, for the final time, Casey.
It's been great. You've had a great run.
Yep, see you guys never.
He is the Yukon. Ooh, too soon.
Ooh.
Do you
Because
have?
they lost.
Do you
Did
they
they,
lose?
yeah, they did lose.
They
didn't
lost. Yeah.
Finally.
Is it Xbox Game Pass for you, or did you buy it?
Xbox Game Pass. I'm not paying $60 on trash.
So why
See?
do you want to play it?
That's funny.
Because it looks like it would be fun to play with people.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what she said.
I don't want
Selling-
to play trash with you.
sailing this one sloop, by myself.
Yeah.
Getting sunk every 5 minutes. That's not fun.
And it's
No, it's not.
Are you still playing it, John?
No,
Chris, are you still playing?
Well, I
But
kind
I
of
have-
had to play Far Cry all last week, and I got
I
to play
have,
Nino
you didn't.
Cooney
You
all
didn't
this week.
kind of have to. You wanted to play Far Cry. You were already playing Nino Cooney, and you
I'm
said
with-
no. You're like bumped up, and you're like, Sean, it's Far Cry 5, and you got all like bobbleheaded at me, and you're like, I'm playing Far Cry 5, and I was like, Chris,
he gets bobbleheaded.
Chris, it's okay.
Well, when I have a topic that I'm going to cover,
Topic.
I like
Time,
to actually
time.
invest into it. So that's what I do.
It's all good. I don't like Far Cry at all.
Yeah, we understand. You suck. But
I also
Ready
don't
Player
like, What's
One.
that other game I don't like that you said I should like?
BioShock?
Yes, he knows.
Yeah, so you
Trash.
can already see where he's at.
I see.
Yeah, he has one good thing. He likes Warcraft. That's about it.
Yo, but Warcraft is legit.
Yeah,
It
it's
is legit.
Yeah, Blizzard's legit. If you
Yeah.
want to get honest, that's why we wore an Overwatch shirt today.
You're
Yeah,
still
you
playing
really
World
love
of
that
Warcraft?
game too.
Yeah. I
We're
did.
What's the
starting
level cap now?
110.
110.
It should be 120 when.
That's so much.
That's what you
It really is. Anyways, back to topic
So
here.
much.
Yeah.
Ready
We're not-
Player One.
We're not on the topic yet. This is just
I
intro
know.
fun
I'm
times.
trying to get this out of the way so we can get to the topic.
Ready Player One. Yeah.
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 It was good.
I enjoyed it. As someone who read the book, I enjoyed it.
I agree.
It has some issues.
Sean
but
didn't read
it
the
was
book.
good.
I did.
He heard the book.
I read it, John.
You
I read
heard
about.
it.
I read
He
about.
just sits down there.
No. I read 3/4 of the book and then audioed the rest of the book.
Ah, so you listen to it. That's cool,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Well, I was at work and I wanted to kind of finish the ending.
Ah.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah. And I was like, let's type it up.
You
As
could
someone who-
subscribe to audible.com.
That's what John said. Speaking of that,
What?
I was like, speaking of that,
Audible?
yeah. Are you still?
Yeah.
You got it right. You
I
rocking it?
got my free book a couple days ago.
Ah. Was it Ready Player One?
No.
Probably should
Was
have
it
gotten that.
Ronald Reagan, The History?
Oh no.
That was fun. Was it Hillary Clinton, The History?
HRC, #1 chick?
Was it Science, The History of?
No, it was about the BTK killer.
Oh.
That's
Somebody
So
got
you-
his
Right.
fresh off
somebody,
Mindhunter.
somebody got all
Someone-
serious.
Someone
taking-
you're a fan of.
I'm taking notes.
He was. What was the show?
Do you feel
Oh,
love?
It's funny.
Yeah.
The book describes the one kill he made
Mhm.
that was truly satisfying that he could never replicate, and I felt bad for him.
Wow.
So
in the sense of
speaking
we need
of-
to get rid of him.
Very
in the
sympathetic.
sense in the sense of a tortured mind like that,
Uh-huh.
having this urge to do what he did,
Yeah.
and only being truly satisfied with it one time. It's like, in a sense, that's just kind of tragic,
Yeah.
morbid but tragic.
I
Very
think I
morbid.
understand where you're coming from with that for real, but
It's like your first nut.
from like the tree, the squirrels and stuff, and honey nut Cheerios and whatnot and things.
The question is, will Chris have
Almonds.
to edit that? I don't think he will. 'Cause I
No,
don't-
you'll be fine.
We're just because oh no. See what you did, Casey.
Hey,
He's like, what did I do?
well,
but
I
you
mean,
played into it really nicely.
His mirror, didn't I?
Yeah.
walk
his-
in and the general level of conversation
Yeah.
drops a little bit. That's fine.
What about-
No, I was.
What
just-
about genitals?
Yeah, what?
I heard genitals again.
I did not hear that at all.
Wow,
That's a fine word.
Yeah,
you have that on your brain a lot. I
You
guess.
can say that one.
yeah. We got the thumbs up over here.
But Casey, what do you think of Ready Player One?
So, as someone who had not read the book and saw the trailers and stuff, and thought it looked like absolute trash.
Yeah, worst trailers ever.
Yeah, it was
because
rough.
like first, it did not accurately represent anything about the movie. I loved it. And I like went into the movie like arms crossed, like
I'm not gonna like this.
This looks dumb. Everybody else says it's great, but I'm gonna actively dislike. Oh wait, that was pretty.
So
cool.
you're being John.
Yeah, pretty
Okay,
much.
got
I was
it.
like, oh, that wasn't so bad. And then about not very long, and it was like, oh yeah, do that. This is so
Yeah.
awesome.
So
This
you
is
had no problems with the I guess some of the not the main story but the character development, the relationship. It just seemed a little off to me, and I don't know if it's how do I explain what I'm trying to say? Like,
It
'cause-
didn't seem genuine.
yeah, it was almost forced, like it was a
Like it moved real quick.
like a Hallmark movie
Mm.
kind of vibe in this one scene, and then you got like awesomeness.
Yeah.
Like when they go back to like Parsifal and the all that stuff in the Oasis. I don't know. There was a little bit of disconnect for me in that aspect, but overall, I think it was cool.
Yeah.
It was very cool to see. There's a big thing that happens at the end of the movie. We don't want to spoil it, but let's just call it a war.
He wins.
And you get to see all the players that they put in there from the
That were
things.
ready to be player one.
The whole Halo team that came in.
Oh yeah.
And they were like all Master Chiefing it up. That was
the
awesome.
Teenage
some
Mutant
of-
Ninja Turtles.
Some of
Yeah.
boys, the Battletoads leading the charge, though.
It was-
right?
it
I
was-
was like Battletoads.
It was so cool when you saw that play out like that. And I was wondering,
Chucky.
in the preview they showed the DeLorean, right? And you're
Yeah.
like, all right, how's this going to actually play in? Because I didn't quite remember that going down in the book at all.
No, it was I can't remember which ship it is. I think it might be the one from dang it, Nathan Fillion.
It's all good.
Oh,
Firefly. Yeah,
The
the ship from-
Serenity?
yeah, I think that's
So-
why he's
But in the thing, you're like, he's racing, and they kind of that's the beginning of the movie, and it's
Yeah.
really, really cool. It kind of sets the whole pace of you see why they did what they did for this movie. So I liked it. It
Sure.
made sense. Overall, I agree. I liked it a lot.
The weirdest thing was that TJ Miller of all people, all his jokes fell flat. Like they were just
In our
bad.
crowd, they feel like really flat.
Yeah, like I didn't hear one chuckle.
I was like, "Where's the chuckles?"
Basically, that's
What about
anything
yours?
that ever comes out of TJ Miller's mouth for me personally. But
I don't know. I love him on Silicon Valley. He's great on that.
yeah.
Was
But that being said, like we heard chuckles. There were chuckles
Yeah.
at TJ
Ah.
Miller, and yeah,
I've been in movies before where you're in a screening, something kills, you maybe watch it again. Not so much the second time.
chirp.
So I don't know if it's one of those kind of things that were happening or not. It was also weird because of what his presence looked like, his actual character.
you mean Reaper?
Yeah, it was just weird. Like he
Drums? No,
looked like a
no.
character from Overwatch. I know that's like the 5th time I've said that. It was funny how he looked like that. I don't know.
Like he
It worked out.
looked very, very 13-year-old try hard. That's
Yeah.
what he's like, look at this. My chest is a skull. Wait, you mean there's a skull in your chest? No, I mean my chest is a skull.
I
Yeah.
thought one trailer was particularly cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The one with the song "Jump."
Oh
Was it-
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I thought that was a
good
pretty
one.
legit one.
It's just like
So
they
you're
could've
wrong
sold
about
it.
that in general.
Oh okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, in genitals.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sure.
John likes to tell people they're wrong.
Yeah.
That's what he does well.
He does.
This is also going well
Yep.
yet again.
Hey,
We're,
you
we're
know,
getting ready for an intervention.
you should-
We're
It's
just
his-
saying it up.
It's because of his.
I'm excited to see A Quiet Place, which still is resting comfortably at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
All right. There's
Oh,
something
yeah.
else
John
this week in
Krasinski?
there.
I will go see that with you if you want to go.
can't remember.
But you know, we'll see how that goes.
And see, we're back.
I'd probably
to
go
that.
see that too.
It's only because
Yeah.
you got a fresh haircut. And he's
Yeah.
like, I got to go to a movie with that guy.
That is true.
Everyone's gonna
You
know
al-
that's
you
on
always
my
have
own.
fresh
I
haircuts.
thought,
I do.
Yeah.
but once again, I thought you went to see it with them.
Nope.
No.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I thought it.
I have
Therefore,
no-
it was a
He
reality.
themed it.
I
Yeah.
don't have any
Hey.
control over what goes on in that pretty
Umi.
little head of yours.
Umi, dude. Umi.
Yeah,
Yeah. Umi.
that guy,
Yeah.
Are we ready to?
that effing guy.
Are we ready to topic it up?
What's the
Sure.
topic?
I don't know. We're just gonna.
It's called old Kickback
it's
Haywood
about
and watch y'all
Casey.
take the
We're just gonna let
reins.
Casey tell us his life story.
It's about how the Auburn Tigers are the greatest NCAA
Whoa.
football franchise
Oh my
of our
God.
generation. That's
Well,
what it's.
Hashtag
Casey.
troll alert.
Yeah, Casey, everyone, and bye. All right, let's actually get to this topic.
Let's do it. Topic time.
The topic is Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
That's the topic.
It is.
That really isn't a shock, I think, to anyone. But so you played about 50 hours, right, Sean?
Dude, I've platinumed the game twice on
Good.
Xbox and on PlayStation.
Because
dude.
we're all leaving, and we're just gonna
I got
let
this.
you talk.
So there was this church, right? These radical people, and then there was
Wait,
a
radical as in like extreme views, or radical
Or
as
like,
in like
yeah,
radical.
both, and they were bears
Okay.
with a car that went through a barn.
Were there beats in Battlestar Galactica? Or-
No, not here.
okay.
That was too much.
That's
Chris.
The Office.
Yeah,
Yeah.
way too much.
Yo, I would play that game.
Just make a game with bears, beats, and Battlestar Galactica.
Would that be gangster?
It would be as long as there were some Cylons
What?
and what's her face?
What does that mean?
Trisha Helfer?
No.
does that mean?
Pilot.
John.
Oh,
does that
Katie
mean?
Sackhoff.
Yeah, what's
Starbuck.
Starbuck.
Help
There you
me. John.
go. What the frack?
You gotta repeat it.
Oh, you've never had anybody else who watched Battlestar Galactica
Yeah, I
here
know.
before. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot. You're
I s-
intelligent.
I see what's going on here.
Yeah, we're like, what?
now he
like-
understands.
Because like just a few seconds ago, I saw Sean and John's eyes just glaze over. Like check out.
What was that? But yeah, Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, they actually picked a real country to put the story in.
America?
Yeah, they put it in America. They made a fictional county, but they
Why
took
did you
it-
say county like that?
And they,
county?
and they
I've
actually did.
been playing Far Cry 5, and everyone apparently in Montana talks like they're from Georgia or Alabama.
Well, I think it's an instant cult classic.
Do you?
Oh man,
Oh,
did you write
I
that
think
one down?
I think it'll garner a cult following. Yeah,
Ooh.
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
You worked
like-
on that all week, didn't you? At your
No.
desk.
Do you think years from now, like
Crimin-
Grand Theft Auto 5, it'll be on the sales charts as like
You haven't
the-
heard? It's already outsold that game.
Oh, that's
Has it?
amazing.
Mm.
Do you know how much money that game made? Whoa.
Billions.
So, Far Cry 5, you play as the Rook, who is the rookity. The rookity.
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 That's when you combine rookie and deputy.
Yeah.
The rookie.
Yeah, he's a rookie deputy with the Hope County Sheriff's Office. And at the start of the game, he is on a helicopter along with the sheriff, a couple of deputies. They might also be rookies, I'm not sure. And a U.S. Marshal as they are on their way to arrest one Joseph Seed, who I think was for kidnapping. Didn't they say that's what it was?
Yeah, I think it was that and like maybe like racketeer. I don't know.
Yeah, they
It
were
was,
in.
it was a long list of vague charges.
Needless to say, things don't as it always is with Far Cry. They don't go the way you hope they would. And very quickly, our rookie finds himself separated from everyone else and basically thrust on a quest to recapture Hope, Montana with all the help he can find. And that's the basics. I mean, I don't know what else to say as far as the setup.
No, that's pretty much it.
That's about right.
Joseph Seed's the head of a pretty fanatical cult.
Yeah, I guess that too.
That's a pretty significant.
Was it the Church of, or was it Eden's Gate? Right?
Gate, yeah.
Which I don't know.
I will hand it to them. It was a pretty cringy, uncomfortable opening.
Yeah, the opening is really powerful.
I thought it was very well done.
I was like, man, I'm gonna have to do so many Valium to finish this game. They really right out the gate pumped the tension right up.
Yeah, and then like 5 minutes later, I went and I watched two bulls have relations. So.
I saw something like that too. I was, but that's not the. You should play Far Cry Primal,
right?
I mean, you could walk up and watch two people just grinding on the ground.
Yeah, like, well, this
I
seems
stood
like
there and stared at it for hours.
But yeah,
he doesn't get out much.
I have to say, as I started this game, the first thing I noticed was that the world itself is really, really beautiful. And the biggest change I think everyone's going to notice right away when they go in that beautiful world is instead of just going to some radio towers to unlock regions like pretty much every Ubisoft game has done for about the last 5 to 10 years, instead it's kind of more like Zelda or Skyrim, where it's just like go explore and find things. And as you find things or find people or stumble across, they'll tell you where it is, and then you do it or you don't. You just keep walking on.
Chris, Breath of the Wild basically had radio towers.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Uh-huh. I don't like that voice.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's
Don't ever do
Nerd
that voice.
John.
Yeah.
Welcome, Nerd John. Thank you so much for your input.
I don't
He
like
just
that voice.
prefers
It just
John.
sounded like regular John.
That's well, regular John is Nerd John.
Beat him to the punchline already, guys.
Yeah, see? But yeah, I know, John, you said you kind of feel like you were a little not happy about this change, right?
What change?
The as far as the radio tower
What he
stuff.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's an adjustment, but it's just like I'd like just kind of not having to have that step of. I just like knowing where everything is right off the jump.
We know you're like the Communist Party. You want to know everyone everywhere.
You're actually kind of the opposite of a communist,
Right?
But with this here, the radio tower is kind of just. Granted, it's training wheels, I guess, but it alleviates when a game is such a big world with that much to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just found it kind of helpful to know where the outposts are, know where the towers are, and let those markers open up the rest of the world.
Okay.
You know that, I mean, and that's just kind of my thing. The fact that you have to kind of explore the world.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, hey, that's the point.
Yeah.
But not automatically knowing where the outposts are, to me, has been a little bit of frustrating thing to deal with.
Because that's what
outset.
you just want to go do.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, like to your point,
the outposts are what make Far Cry to me.
Mm-hmm. They are.
That's just.
See, I felt kind of like the opposite. I like not knowing where the stuff is and like going and finding it because, here's this beautiful world, go explore it. That sounds like fun. And that being said, like to your point earlier, Chris, the world is beautiful.
Oh yeah.
I thought that maybe if it's going to be in one county in Montana, it was going to get really repetitive really quickly, but that's not the case. You have fields, you have mountains, you have rivers, you have all kinds of stuff. So there's some, there's pine trees everywhere, but
sure.
I mean, it's varied enough to where you don't look at it and say, oh, this looks like every other stretch of land in this place. It's definitely different.
Agreed.
And I, just refreshing.
Yeah, I going back to what you said, I actually liked it because my biggest problem that I've had with the last couple of Far Cry games is I don't really care about anyone that I see in the world. Like, there could be rebels and they could be fighting, whatever the enemy is, but I just drive by because I'm going off to do my own thing. And the nice thing what this game does is if you want to open up that map, it basically like always consistently gives you a carrot dangling where you're just like, okay, hey, here's a person in trouble, and you see there's an emblem over his head. That means he has information I need, or he's going to give me a quest or something. And, you know, it made me stop every single time to go like, I need to save that person and see what he knows, because he'll, you know, then he'll be like, hey, there's this outpost over here they took over, and you need to go in there pretty hard because we want the camp back. And then, you know, you go.
I mean, that was actually dialogue of the game.
It's pretty much, that's everyone apparently in Hope County, Montana.
Effer stole my truck.
Yeah, pretty much. Man, I'm just really upset that I can't go get a beer right now and watch some baseball, but, you know.
They got baseball in Montana.
Apparently. I don't know.
But yeah, it's always funny, like, seeing some cult member just dragging somebody along. It's like, I bet that person needs saving, and then will like tell me where there's something at, you know. So it's kind of fun that way.
You're like, I guess I'll stop this evil. Now tell me where to go. The biggest other observation I made early on this game was that apparently everyone in Eden's Gate does not have shampoo. This is very true. They look very gangly.
They're very scraggly looking bunch of fellas and ladies.
They all need some
ivory.
Yeah, some ivory soap.
Yeah,
some ivory.
And a number of them need a shave too, which is really weird that they all have beards, but you can't have a beard.
Yeah,
I didn't understand that.
You can't have a beard, can you?
Yeah, you can have a mullet.
Yeah, you can't have a
I'm
mullet.
in. That was the first thing I quit.
Which speaking of that, I mean, that's a new. It's not robust.
No,
but it's a new addition to the game. In every Far Cry game, you've had an identity. And you've had a backstory, and your place in that world really matters. In this one, you're a no name
mute.
And you get to kind of, although it's not varied, but you get to give yourself flannel shirts, buzz cut, crew cut, comb over,
mullet.
I think it's mainly just for the co-op and the arcade play is why they put it in there, just so there's customization.
There's even there's even shirts for. Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs and all of the Ubisoft
Rainbow
properties.
Six.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. I've got a lot of them.
So it's not deep customization, but you can make your character look how you want.
And then whenever you die, you get to see what you look like.
Yeah,
it's about the only time I ever see it. So
look like a GI Joe doll.
So as far as going through the game, I have to say, like, the earlier part of the game was really fun. Like, exploring and first discovering this world, I had a blast. Like, I love those new prepper stashes, which are like these little hidden bunkers, doomsday bunkers that people have made. And
doomsday coming.
Doomsday coming. There was always like some sort of puzzle that you'd have to do to like unlock it. So, you know, you'd have to look at your environment and be like, okay, I need to turn on electricity or make a sniper shot from the other side.
That one was
to
fun.
Open up a lock. Yeah, like things like that.
Hey, Rookity, Doomsday coming.
Yeah.
And inside the bunkers, you'd have like stores of like weapons, ammo.
Oh, Rookity.
You'd have your perk magazines, which is what you would use to level the skills of your character, and you would also have about $2,000 worth of cash actually.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And
John doesn't believe us.
And just
That's true.
Just various things that help you on your way, and they're actually really valuable. So
Perks.
Perks.
Yeah.
Wait,
It's
so
like-
you guys leveled your characters with money and he didn't?
No.
They're claiming that every prepper stash has approximately
like how you say
$2,000.
Yeah.
That is not true.
It is.
It's not true.
They
They have a
did-
lot of valuable stuff that is varied, but
And you know-
$2,000. I have not come across $2,000.
Did you find
in
the
a
pepper
stash.
stashes though?
The pepper what?
The pepper stashes.
No,
Old pepper stashes.
but-
Huh?
You know what some of the valuable stuff in the prepper stashes are?
cash.
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 But what's funny about it is
like
the
literally stacked.
perks. You're awarded perks with the prepper stash.
Yeah.
By magazines. It's like you're reading through
Perk
it and going,
magazine. I learned something today.
I learned something, so now I have a perk.
I read this magazine, and now I have a bigger bag of bullets. Like,
It's amazing.
How'd that happen? We'll never know. Yeah, the perk system. I don't know. Casey, I think me and you both agree on this that they changed it up.
I brought it up.
Yeah. Well, we were talking before the show. He's a friend. He talks to me outside of the show. See?
Did you feel that?
A
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
Go.
Stone.
Right there.
He's turning the knife. see?
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Wow.
The upgrade system, they changed it from previous ones. Like before, you'd have some abilities you would buy, but then like all your equipment, you had to go do hunting challenges and craft things. Instead, they kind of consolidated everything into just one like perk system. And after a little bit, like it feels like you just buy which ones you need, and then afterwards, I got to a point where I looked and was like, oh, I have 36 perk points, and I didn't care because, which is a lot in this game, like because there wasn't any abilities that I was just like chomping at the bit. Like I need this. It's more of like I guess I could use some
This
more
next
arrows.
comment is for Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
But Chris, that's because you had it on easy mode.
There is no easy mode. I looked.
Is there not?
There's easy, medium, and hard.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I
Oh.
cranked that bad boy all the way up to hard and regretted it, but I still did it.
I did not do it.
But the perks are just outside. There are a handful of them that are like, okay, this is cool. This is going to play into the stuff that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's ammo bags and respawn times, and it's like,
Yeah.
this is so boring. Like I don't feel like my character actually got any better. Actually,
No, like short of like more health was probably the biggest thing I could tell.
that was a big one.
Yeah. Funny. But-
Rickety Doomday.
Dutch.
And like you were saying, like to me, the earliest part to me was a lot more enjoyable. The further along I got in the game, the more I just wanted to be done with the game.
Yeah.
So like I was thinking, like it's a good 30-hour game packed into a 50-hour container. you
Pretty
know?
much. If you're wanting to upgrade and like do certain things, you're going to take about 50 hours at least to get to the end. Neither of us had done everything. So
No.
there's definitely a lot to do in that world. But yeah, I kind of agree. Like as it goes on, it starts to wear on you. Like mainly because, and my problem that came with this game that just kept popping up is every region has like a bar that's building up, right? That shows your resistance level and where you're getting to. And every time you hit a level, basically, no matter what region you're in, the same thing happens. No matter where you are, you could be in a plane flying. Somehow you're getting kidnapped.
That is one of my biggest complaints
yeah.
about this game.
And now you have to get put into a scene with the main villain of the region and taken out whatever you were doing and go through that. And then you're put completely somewhere different, sometimes without the weapons you had on you. And you're completely derailed from what you were trying to accomplish.
You know, that's happened to me twice so far.
Yeah. Get
And I
used to
thought it was just because I was getting caught.
Nope.
No, that's what happened. Like once that little circle lights up, you're getting captured, and you're
So
gonna have to
just
sit.
run towards it.
You
just
might as
get
well
it out of the way.
Yeah, just get it out of the way.
Just stop.
'Cause there's-
Just don't do anything.
You can't avoid it, and that
Yeah.
like again, that drove me insane playing this game because there's nothing I hate more than forced cutscenes and forced like you lose agency of your character.
Yes.
And what's
Like-
it say about those cult leaders when you get captured 20 times and they can't even do anything with
Well,
you?
they all like, it's really weird because their idea is like, they don't want to kill you. They want to save you. But apparently all their soldiers out in the field didn't get the message. They're
Right.
just trying to kill you.
Well, John wants you alive. I don't know if I agree with that, but here we go. And,
That's
like,
a pretty good Montana voice.
and, yeah, and then like you know every culty on the streets just trying to put you down. Yeah, like in other games, like
so
I
this
have no
Far
pro-
Cry this Far Cry game didn't make much sense.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Like it's a
Well, the setup is pretty hard to get to.
You know
to
what I
begin
mean?
With.
it's a Far Cry. It's weird. Weird stuff's gonna happen.
Sure.
Thing,
Means,
right?
Meaning it's a Far Cry from reality.
Ooh, Yeah.
as the expression goes.
Yeah,
Hey,
hey.
It's a
That's
Far
what
He
Cry.
worked on that one all week too.
Yeah, he did.
But the thing to me is like
One of these days you will celebrate my
The
intelligence.
brilliance of one John.
That's right.
as far as game design is concerned, anything that makes you lose control of your character and your goals and
Your
lose track of
agency.
your agency. I was gonna say it, but I figured it might trigger you.
Everyone's like, why?
But once that happens, like, and if there's a mission upcoming and it's clearly highlighted, all right, if I go here and do this, be prepared for 10 to 30 minutes of uninterrupted.
Especially when you kill one of them.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But like in this game, and the thing is, you can't avoid it because even the side missions push you further to that cutscene.
Yes.
There's nothing that you can do. Like if you rescue a hostage, it'll push you a little bit closer to that cutscene and that interaction that you cannot avoid. and you have to complete before you're able to, do the thing that you actually wanted to do again.
So it's happened to me twice in John's Siege region. Am I to assume that it only happens 6 times in the game, like 2 times per?
No, you're gonna pretty much every time you hit a level, you're gonna have a scene.
Because other regions have different milestones of resistance.
Yes,
like Faith's region has like 3 or 4, and
so it'll happen to me 3 or 4 times.
Right. Yes. Every
region,
every little on the resistance meter, every little blip is going to be all right. Just get ready.
It's like they didn't. It's like they made this world that is very Skyrim designed, or even Zelda a little bit, and then they did the one thing you shouldn't do. You pushed people to the main story. Like, people love things like Skyrim because they can do the opening scene and maybe 1 or 2 missions and not check into that for about 80 hours if they want to again, and play the game, be rewarded, and have fun experiences. And if they want to see what the story is, well, come back and do it.
I can see both sides to it. On one hand, you check out for 80 hours.
Sure.
And everybody in the world in Assassin's Creed Origins going, what the heck is he doing?
Well, I mean, if we're going on that, I would say, what were they doing when they finally got a plane? I was like, they even talked about this before. Like, shouldn't you just be flying to Missouri or whatever, what you just said you were going to do?
Like at the beginning of Breath of the Wild, Zelda says, please hurry, Link.
Yeah.
170 hours later, I haven't even finished the 4th. What was the 3rd?
Well, that's because you like intelligence.
Oh, wow.
It's gotta go there.
Full circle.
But yeah, I mean, there are definitely memes about it in gaming communities about stuff like Skyrim. It's like, all right, we need to go take care of this. 300.
Yeah.
A year later in game time, dude, what's up?
We're still here.
Yeah, so I can appreciate. I can appreciate. Now, granted, it's a little bit silly you getting captured and escaping 20 times, but that mechanic keeping you grounded in the story.
I think that was the idea.
I think that's okay. The delivery might not be so great.
I think the reason they did it was, one of the complaints from the 4th was that Pai Ming you don't really see that much in the game. You just hear him on the radio. Mm-hmm. So they wanted to find a way. And I don't mind that. Like, I didn't mind the scene so much. It was just the fact that they forced you to do it instead of, like, setting up a scenario where, like, okay, you do a mission and kind of like how 3 did. Like, it goes wrong and now here comes Voss and you're going to have a scene with Voss and you're going to wonder if you're going to die or not, or someone else is. So,
and even, like, to make things even worse, they're not short.
No.
Like, at all.
No.
I don't know. I mean,
it's about 10 minutes, like, when you consider whatever activity.
10 minutes. 10 whole minutes.
And it also depends on what it is. Like, that last section was.
Yes.
That's what they said.
That last section, I was just.
10 minutes.
The last section in Jacob's area.
Oh, it's terrible.
I very much dreaded those moments because his is the worst. His is the worst by far. Like, when you get there, you'll see exactly. It's just the worst thing in the game.
Yeah.
So we liked it, basically.
But then the other thing, what I will say is, and I don't know how this is in other Far Cry games, but, like, when you have, like, your antagonist sitting there, like, monologuing to you for, like, 10 minutes at a time, and you being a blank slate, like a character who doesn't respond, who is silent, it's like,
sure,
this is great.
Oh, that's Far Cry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Pagan Min does it. Voss does it.
Then I do not like that about Far Cry.
Well, the thing though is, like, Jason would actually respond to Voss in Far Cry 3, like, especially when he killed his brother. And
he would occasionally respond.
That's the opening. It's been 8 years, Sean. You're not playing it.
RJ would occasionally do it in Far Cry 4, but most of the time you're just tolerating.
Yeah, usually
you're just paying Troy Baker to say some lines because you got to give Troy Baker money for saying some lines.
Hey, he's got to make Last of Us. I don't know. It's just, like, to me, the problem with it was I would have maybe been more forgiving of it, but I'll be honest, the main story to me is pretty meh, and that was the biggest letdown of this
really
game.
think they all are, though.
I don't want to.
I love the story of 3 and 4, actually. 4 more so.
I think people love the story of Voss. I think people like Voss in Far Cry 3, but not the story. And Voss, I mean, people keep in the games comparing every Far Cry since Far Cry 3 to Voss.
Sure.
But Voss wasn't even the main villain in Far Cry 3.
Sure, but he's the most memorable.
Yes, that is correct. But comparing him to Jacob Seed or comparing him to Pagan Min is the false comparison. I mean, so far, what stands out to me are the enemies. They're a little bit more interesting than they have been before, just like the people in the game are a little bit more interesting than they have been before.
The guns for hire are probably the most interesting.
The guns
part.
for hire do have like some really good personalities, but also one's a bear. So
yeah, but it has diabetes.
What's the name of the bear?
Cheeseburger.
Yeah, he's like, this is Cheeseburger, but don't give him cheeseburgers because he got the diabetes. And you're just like, oh god.
The bear is awesome. The one that I used the most was the dog Boomer, just because
he's the best good boy.
Yeah, and he tags everything. Really. He tags everything. Well, whenever you got to run up and punch people, it's really helpful to be able to see through walls.
I mainly used I used the combination of Herc and Grace because Grace is a sniper, so she was really good. And then on the other hand, Herc has a rocket launcher, so if a helicopter ever would show up, I'd be like, shoot that down right there. And Herc's also the funniest guy in the game because he's
subjective.
Like he's kind of like the lovable idiot. Like he has his own cult he's forming, and he prays to a monkey god. And
why are you looking at me so close?
It's just weird. And then he's just like, he's kind of
threatened right now.
He's like
some kind of way about this.
He's slightly ignorantly racist, but not real. Like he's not meaning to be. He's trying to be a nice guy. But I'll be in the car and like he's with Grace. He's like, so what's it like being illegal? And she's like, I was born in America. And he just goes, sure you were. Your secret's safe with me. And you just go, God, Herc.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Speaking of, since you brought that up, one of the chief criticisms lobbed at this game is the idea of bringing in certain subject matter without saying anything about it.
Oh yeah.
But my question to you guys, if I mean, you can tell the ignorant guy over here, what exactly was supposed to be said?
Anything?
Or what was the subject matter supposed to be about? What needed commentary?
Okay. The two big things that I keep hearing are like religious fanaticism is one thing that people would have liked to have some commentary on, and then also gun control and gun violence.
I mean,
okay,
you could. I don't care what commentary you put there. I think it's just more of like put some commentary. Say like Far Cry 4 has a lot of commentary on it. Like as far as the relationships of how it works between a dictator and then also resistance leaders who are also extreme in their own views and beliefs, and they demonstrate that with the way it played out. This game, it's like the best I can imagine this guy is doing is basically the only reason he has a cult is because he has a drug and he will kill you if you don't join his cult. That's about the bottom of it. I mean, would you say I'm wrong?
That's pretty accurate, yeah.
And it's like when I look at that material, I go, man, there's so many things you could take examples from in American history in the last 50 years alone. Or even like go outside. If you want to do something like Jim Jones, that's an interesting story because Jim Jones got 1,000 people to move into his his community or whatever before they all killed themselves. Or you could do David Koresh and show like how interesting, like how that guy was able to take a small church of like 10 people and build it up. Or you could do something like the Bundy clan with the Over Militia, where you have this cult that believes the government is way overpowered and is impeding on their personal rights, and you as being a person who's in government, you could have an interesting commentary on that.
Or that wasn't a cult, that was a family.
Well, I mean, like as far as they had a militia too. His son did it, and now they took over that place in Oregon or where. But like or any of the
But
Aryan
what do you want
group,
it to say is I get
anything. Just something. I don't care. It's like I liked.
But give me an example.
Well,
tell me what a game can say.
BioShock. I mean, both BioShock games have huge statements about society and idealism and believing in them, and they show you the good and they show you the bad of it, and they tell you.
I love BioShock, but it got Ayn Rand wrong.
Oh,
okay. So I'm asking, okay. You said the cult in Far Cry 5 was he used a drug to control.
Yes.
Jim Jones used simplistic reasons to control people.
Sure.
Cults are about using simple things to control masses.
Yeah.
That's what they're about. They're all simplistic in their design.
Sure.
And every cult leader Well, he just used a drug that's.
I mean,
he showed the method of
but
control.
But the
I
thing
guess-
is, like, Joseph Seed doesn't appear particularly charismatic or anything to the outside, and it doesn't really show why all these people follow him, except for the drug.
So you want to know why they follow him,
or
do you
what
wanna
the
know,
reason is. I mean, like,
because as far as you can tell from start to finish, he's just some creepy dude.
yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Okay.
and it's just like, I don't know. It wasn't that interesting because one, everyone's region kind of follows the same progression every single time. You know, like I said, you're going to have cutscenes and they're going to progressively get pissed off at you because you're taking over the region.
Mhm.
They're really well voice acted. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it, but it's just like, I enjoyed, like, as much as I had problems with Mafia 3's world, I enjoyed the fact that they were willing to do a game where they said, here's what it was like to be a black man in the 1960s in New Orleans. We'll do this.
But that's settled history. That's many years ago, and nobody disagrees on the subject matter.
I get
Bad was bad back then. Period.
Oh.
We get it.
okay. Well,
But
Wolfenstein.
everybody lobs the criticism. It needed to say something, but
Sure.
nobody can answer what it needed to say, and that's what I have a real problem with.
well, I think
Maybe that's why Ubisoft didn't want to go near it, because nobody can agree on what the subject matter is.
it's not my job to
And so-
tell them what they need to say. It's.
But-
I'm just
but
saying
it's-
I want you to have a
course
voice.
Of course, it's our job. We've
Yeah.
always said the basic criticize, but let it be constructive. Not just say you should have done something. Tell us what you should have done.
Well, is there?
And that's the critique that seems to be missing in this whole
I would have
thing.
said tell a story where you actually have something to say. I mean, like, I don't care what it is. I don't care. Like, you could make it. I've just given you like 5 different examples of like things that
Cults
they could
are
have
bad?
pulled off. I mean, that might be about the
esta-
worst.
I think it establishes that cults are bad.
I mean,
Yeah.
it definitely reinforces what everyone on the planet already knows, except for those who are in said cults. But
There's like one guy listening to our podcast, like,
Wait a minute.
hold up.
what?
But I'm in a cult.
I guess what
Dano's in a cult.
what Chris is saying and what I
Tom
kind
Cruise
of
is in a cult.
what I kind of
Tom
agree
Hanks.
with is that you can see that there's something missing, even if you don't really know exactly what it is.
Exactly, and it's opinion.
But
There's nothing.
we as critics, I don't know. We should have a better idea to guide the future conversation. Going in the future, I'd like to see
Future.
A, B, and C.
I mean,
But Far Cry, it's like Far Cry has always been about the escapist fantasy.
sure,
Far Cry is about it's a power fantasy. It always has been.
for sure.
Yet we want. I mean, to be perfectly candid, I think certain critics out there want it to say something because they think the obvious thing to say
Sure,
is
sure.
something they agree
Yeah.
with.
I mean, yeah.
But what if
I
it
don't
said
want that.
something? But what if it said something that they don't agree with?
Well, I'd be fine with that then. I mean, like, personally, I would be fine if you made something that I don't. There's been plenty of
Guns
things.
are amazing, and we deserve to have all the guns we want.
Sure, if you want to put that, as long as you make it interesting.
The thing about
I mean,
Far
that's
Cry-
all I
Okay.
ask.
The guns in Far Cry 5, I think it's hinted at, but it's never really explicitly stated. But it's like this cult wouldn't have been able to do this if they didn't have so many guns. But then they also, the counterpoint to that they also put out is we wouldn't be able to fight back if we didn't have all these other people who had guns also.
Yeah.
So that is something that it does say, but that's just a very simplistic statement that it's saying, It doesn't really expand on it other than that.
Yeah, it never goes deep.
And it's not that that's a problem. And at no point did Far Cry 5 ever say, hey, we're going to have some pretty deep socio-political commentary, so sit back
Sure.
and digest this. So I think that's a lot of that is on the fans who are expecting something that Ubisoft never said that they were going to deliver.
Yeah.
So like I'm fully certain that Ubisoft just said, hey, we want to make a video game in America where you can go shoot stuff, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But that being said,
Wolfenstein 2 didn't say anything profound,
but
and we
Yeah.
loved every. It didn't.
Sorry about
It said Nazis are bad and they're racist people.
Well, I mean,
big
it
surprise.
also,
We already knew that.
but it also did a great job of kind of, I thought, giving you an idea. Take the science fiction part of it out, and just
Mhm.
like say if Nazis had won World War II, invaded America, it gave you a world of like you could see what they would play into, and that felt real. Like the fact that they would play up the KKK. And the fact that they would segregate off a city like New Orleans and put all the people of color there, and that pretty much anyone who was a person of color was probably going to get killed by them and things like that.
but we can
Like,
but we
that's
can,
interesting to see.
Sure, but we can garner from the philosophy of Nazi Germany that would happen.
Sure.
That's not thought provoking. It's not. It is simply a manifestation of what their vision was.
Well, I mean, their other point I thought was that
didn't change how I looked at Nazis. It didn't change how I looked at our society.
I'm not asking for you to change me how I look at Nazis, but like, for instance, I liked how they showed in that story the father had very racist tendencies, and it's like to show this always exists. It's not something that's just belongs to Nazi Germany. This could happen anywhere if you let people like this take power and you don't keep them in check.
Does Far Cry not do that?
I mean, to me, it just kind of feels like that's not the point.
But see, the most egregious
especially
thing,
with the ending, which we won't spoil, but I mean, when you see the ending...
I would rather save that to the last thing that we talk about.
To me, the most egregious thing about Far Cry 5 is in the weapons menus. It doesn't seem to know what a semi-automatic rifle is.
I think we can agree on that because
that was weird. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like,
yeah.
what are you doing? What is this? This is a fully automatic assault rifle.
I would, like I said, I had hopes maybe they do something because, like I said, they did a political commentary last time, and it was a really good one. Like it made me think about it.
So I pull up controversy, right, and it says
controversy.
It says it's all made up. Like I think you're alluding to, John. It's that journalists are saying that this setting is going to be this place of like this like religious thing and far right movement stuff, and because it's happening in the United States. As opposed to more of like an exotic place like other Far Cries, that it would likely make the game highly controversial.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's what. And that, they never promised that.
Yeah, they never did. Yeah, I just kind of like. I guess I was hoping that there would be something more than it's just basically a crazy guy who has some drugs, because that's what it is. I mean, that's primarily what it is. It's like even when you go to Face region, there are these people that are hooked on the drug to the point where they're zombies. That's all they are. They have like clouds around their head. They have bald heads, and they run at you like zombies. And you're like, that's how he did it. I mean, like to me, that's just. I mean, it's lazy. It's not boring. I don't care how you set it up, but man, we can do something a little bit better than this. Is personally, if you want to entertain me.
That's the nature of cults. I mean, what they do is they take advantage of people who are in a vulnerable state of mind who will believe anything.
Sure.
I mean, go look at Jim Jones'
I don't think you're getting what
who would believe this?
I don't think you're getting what I'm saying. I get like why that works.
Yeah.
It's more of like that's a boring way to do it, because to me it's a lot more interesting. Like I said, David Koresh, when you watch him. And like when I watched that Waco actually does a great job of showing it. Like where
shoot, I was about to go out there.
The show did a great job of showing it, like how he would go and play drums at the local bar, and he meets a kid one night, and he just very easily invites him back to say like, hey, you ain't got nowhere to crash. You can come crash at our place. We've got cots and everything. And then shows you with this relationship of like the kid finding like them the next morning doing service and listening to him preach, and how like he had an ability to speak to people and it would make them connect in a way with the religion that they hadn't thought before. And that's how they would come to be in his commune.
Like
and
Charles Manson.
Slowly pull them in and then say, okay, by the way, if you're going to be here, there are some rules. You need to commit to it. You can't have sex with women. You can't do this. You can't do. That's when the reality comes. Is like months later.
But I think you. People who want that want way too much out of a video game.
That's just my thing.
It's a video game, and I think there's some people at a video game company that go to, hey, where are we going to make our next game? This place looks cool. This place looks cool. Let's check it out. We could make this work, and let's just put a crazy church guy out there and have guns.
I'm 100% sure that's what they did.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what they did.
And the thing is, like,
and I don't think they intended for anything to happen. They didn't know the political climate was gonna end up being where it is now.
Plus, they're from France.
Because this game didn't come.
No, they're from
Ubisoft.
Canada.
They didn't start making it. They didn't start making this game like 3 months ago. It's been in development for a while. So, again, it's not on them to deliver socio-political commentary.
Sure.
So I don't fault them for that. I also don't fault the people who, by nature of the subject matter, expected there to be more.
Yeah.
But there wasn't. I don't necessarily blame them for that either, but I don't think that they need to be outraged by it.
Yeah. I'm not completely outraged. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed just because like they've done such a good job with commentary on other regions. Like, they
didn't do a good job with Far Cry 3.
Well, Far Cry 3 is kind of its own thing, but Far Cry 2 and 4 are both games with a lot of commentary on. Like 2 is about basically a weapons arms dealer exploiting 2 African countries and forcing them towards war for profit. And then, as I said, Far Cry 4 is about resistance overthrowing a dictator and having 2 complete extremes leading that resistance, and it comes to a head. Did you beat 4?
Yeah, and I found 4 to be a little manipulative in that the basic concept of I'm naturally going to go down a path that seems a little bit more righteous, a little bit more just. The drug trade in Far Cry 4, I specifically did not go down that path.
Sure,
because the lady leader of the Golden Pass was we need to secure these drugs. We need to keep these because this will keep our economy going. And the other person was like, no, we need to start on a new path.
And I like how
when it came to the end, he basically became
a religious
pagan
fanatic.
Man.
Well,
pagan
I mean,
man.
it kind of showed
manipulating me along the process.
Well,
so.
yeah, like both ways. You saw both sides. Like she is the one who is progressive, but when she wins, when she becomes the leader, basically it kind of becomes a communist state. She kills all the people who supported him and all his people. Pretty much kicks out or gets the whole entire country addicted to like the heroin there and all that kind of stuff because they're booming through this drug trade and they're moving illegal arms. And then on the other side was Saeed from Lost, who is the religious fanatic. So therefore women are oppressed as far as their rights. They kick out anyone who's not actually from the country. They do all this stuff. And it's a great commentary because it shows like, look, when you put extremists in the power, and history has shown this, when they come up from a resistance, if you don't level out and give people equal rights, usually they go to extremes. That's what usually happens. Castro is the greatest example of that, I think. But, I was hoping for something like this because you're coming home and you're doing a story that's actually in my country. And it's like, I know, I remember things from when we were younger, like as far as Ruby Ridge and the fact that, back in the 90s, it wasn't uncommon for like the Aryan cultist groups, extreme groups to be out in Montana in places like Wyoming and Idaho and to have communes and basically what they set everything up. I wanted there to be some. Yeah. I thought like there's so much you could do with it, and it's just kind of a disappointment that you kind of did this. That's how I took it.
The most interesting thing.
You might want to make sure we're still going. I'm just saying.
The most interesting thing about Far Cry 4,
we're still going.
Yeah, we're good.
Is that at the beginning of the game, you're at the table and he says, "Wait here, I'll be right back."
Yeah.
If you sit there and wait, he'll come back.
It's the same in this one, too.
And he'll take you to that shrine, and the game ends.
Yeah, Did you know about it?
I didn't know about it, but like, and I have never played a Far Cry game before. And it's like, well, it's given me the option.
Yeah.
So
what was the option here?
If you didn't put cuffs on them
at the very beginning,
something will happen.
Oh, really?
And then
you get an option at the end too.
You do. You do.
Yeah. And that ending.
That's how I play the game.
Before we get into that, let me run over real quick some of the pros. Because,
okay, go for it.
To me, the gameplay was fun. It was mechanically solid. Each gun felt good to shoot. Like the automatics felt good. The shotguns felt like they had really, really good like stopping power. You shoot a guy, he goes flying across the room. It's great. Talked about this a little bit more visually appealing. The draw distance on that is great. Like you get in the to me, like you get
when you're in a helicopter.
Wait, you get in the helicopter.
You didn't see trees popping in and out.
Every now and then. I mean, like
I saw it constantly.
Yeah,
I didn't
see. What
see.
system did you play it on?
Xbox One X.
Probably why.
I didn't see.
But it had 800 million teraflops.
Like you get up in that helicopter, you can see the whole freaking county. Like there's not there's not fog covering it up. Like it doesn't have to render like the stuff in the like you can see stuff in the distance. I thought that was incredible. It was great. The vehicles all felt pretty solid.
Driving's great.
The driving was good in it. The side missions themselves, the missions weren't repetitive.
No,
because you you have all sorts of side missions.
Yeah, you do.
And then, but like the outposts did feel kind of repetitive after a while. But that's just
I was hoping there would be some innovation on that, and I was kind of like
innovation, John.
It kind of it just feels like every other outpost I've seen in a Far Cry game. It's like, oh look, there's the sniper up top, and there's the 3 dudes, and yep, there's a heavy gunner.
And that was pretty.
And maybe there's a bear.
I think you said this when we were on Discord one night with Mike, and you were like, yeah, they're kind of like the Assassin's Creed Eagle purchase, kind of.
Oh
something?
no, they had like a shout out to it on one
Yeah.
of the missions. Like I climbed up to the top of a silo, and there's like a little stand at the end, and there's an eagle flying around my head. And I was like, I know
Wait
what
a
you did
minute.
right here. I was like, wait a minute.
The counter. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, as far as graphical issues, I did have some crashes and stuff.
I had about 3 crashes.
Yeah, and there definitely would be problem. I had one mission that wouldn't let me finish it because every time I would finish it, it would just go right back to the final objective again. And I had a couple of times with NPCs where I'm trying to talk to them, and it's literally the quest is telling me to talk to them, and I can't talk to them. They won't talk to me no matter what I do. So
Hey,
it's
did you,
like,
Were they in combat? Because you can't talk to
no,
them.
no,
It wasn't even like that.
It would be like secure the area, and I secure the area and it'd be like, okay,
Gotcha.
go talk to this person. She's
Right.
just like,
Did
no,
you
she's still
reset
panicked.
your router and clear your cache?
I did do that.
Try to turn
yes.
it off and on again.
Yeah.
I've had some fun glitches though. Nothing breaking the game, but there's this one.
Only y'all played it on Xbox, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why.
There's this one cultist. There's this big dog fight. I think it's at the air base or airfield.
Yeah. Which one? Which one? John? Nah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the-
So, and I'm just mowing down everybody, but the whole time there's this one cultist with his arms up to the heavens, just standing in the middle of the room. He's like, hey! And then there's this one storage bin that has a lock on it, and there's no door on it, but the lock
Sure.
is sitting right there in the middle. That's boring. Sorry.
Yeah. No.
No.
Sometimes the fun
Penny's
thing
Penny's passed out, so she's bored.
in those
Good.
types
Because of
of
me.
games.
That's because of
Thank
me.
God.
I'm interested to see how many Richards you guys end up giving this because it
It
looks okay-ish.
Eh,
I mean,
Yeah.
I think from hearing y'all, I'm thinking I know about where you're going to go with it.
I think they had a much better time than how this conversation is
It's
going.
that's true.
started out fun.
it was a fun play. It was a
Yeah.
fun
not
game.
in fun.
Now,
Exactly.
as far as quick downsides, because these are minor complaints from me, I didn't like the bow in the game. The bow feels really bad.
Actually, I like the bow.
It was satisfying to hit somebody with it, but it just like I like that.
Did it meet the Horizon Zero Dawn standard?
There's no
no
way,
one
based
will
off
ever-
based off
will
of what
ever
I've
make
heard
that.
about Horizon Zero Dawn. There's no way.
No
Yeah.
one.
We already talked about the perks being the game structure. I didn't like in the sense that what you were talking about earlier. Oh, here's some outposts. You have to do X amount of stuff. Beat the lieutenant. Go to this region. Do the same thing. Go to this region. Do the same thing.
Like literally.
Yeah.
Is that
Every
not
single
how
time.
Primal was too?
Yeah, that's
In a
why. And
degree?
I didn't even finish
I
Primal
don't know.
because of that.
I don't remember.
And I'm
That's
not,
what I remember from playing Primal, that it was like that.
And I remember, and I was sitting there playing, thinking to myself, I've never played a Far Cry game before in my life, but I've played this game before.
Sure.
Like it's
Ah.
like Shadow of War. It's like Batman
Slow
Arkham City.
down.
It's like,
Sure. Yeah.
it's, and,
Slow down.
and that's to me that's not a fair complaint to be because that's not specifically Far Cry 5's fault.
No.
Just because it didn't reinvent the wheel with the way it built its game, like again, that's not against it, but it's something that I was like, all right, it's a little too similar to a lot of other games that I've played.
Very true.
Meaning that you would like to have the option of going to fight Joseph Seed right off the bat.
I would
Is that
love
what
to
you're
just airdrop right in and shoot that
I would-
motherfucker in the head.
I guess I would like it if, like, what he's saying is like, I would like the option if I could just like say, well, that's cool that you got this going on in the county. I'm gonna go hunt some moose for about 12 hours, and then we'll reconvene here, and maybe we'll see if we can do one small part to help y'all out.
Yeah.
Like that's what I like about those
It's
worlds.
like, I'll provide you all the
Yeah.
skins you need.
Yeah, the ending. Do we like even hint
Okay.
to that ending? Because that's the other thing. Like the ending was like the final. I'm like, that's your message, huh? This is
only-
what you're going
Yeah,
with.
the only thing I'll say about that, like again, not to give anything away,
Yeah.
I personally thought it was trash.
Yeah.
Horrible. Just like I remember seeing that
It's
ending.
cheap.
It was cheap, but also like on top of it, like believe it or not, I don't get angry very often. And
no.
and I didn't hear either, but I got severely annoyed.
Oh, I just read something.
But
oh,
then-
no.
Did you read it?
Oh, no.
But then
Right?
Oh,
But what I,
no.
but reading that, but now I'm like reading playing that ending, like I actually felt like nauseated. Like I was disgusted by that ending. I was
Yeah.
like, this does not make me feel good about anything. I get, you can have downer endings, you can have happy endings.
They
you can
usually are for
You
these.
can have mixed, yeah. And from what I understand, Far Cry series generally doesn't have like the happiest endings. That's fine. But as far as like this concerned, like I was like, I feel gross. This is just so unsettling. I don't like this at all. and it immediately knocked like several points off my final score just because of that.
Yeah.
He felt gross.
Yeah. Like
It's not, I mean, like, to me, it's cheap. That's the only thing I can say. Like, what they did, I was like, really? This is what you're going with? This is how this is all going to get resolved? Is this way? And even that driving part.
Yep, that was terrible.
I hated that too.
I hated everything about the last. I hated everything about the last like 15 minutes of
As
gameplay.
soon as you like land and hit the option.
As soon as you go there, like it was just all downhill. Like it went downhill, it started going downhill, and then it just crashed and burned.
Yeah, pretty badly.
Just checking the trade-in value right now.
Yeah, and like the thing is, like, don't get me wrong, it was a fun ride getting to that point.
Yeah, there's really fun
for the most
times.
part. And then, like, here's the thing: like up until I got
Since
to
when
that
are
point,
video game endings truly satisfying?
A lot of them.
I don't know. Have you ever finished a video
I
game?
saved a
John?
princess
Yeah,
several times.
I mean, I know you haven't finished
Dressed up
Zelda,
as a
but
plumber.
the end of Zelda was
I
actually
mean, you
pretty
haven't
satisfying.
finished Zelda. You didn't finish Rise of the Tomb Raider. Like, you should try that out. You might
I
like
finished Rise of the Tomb Raider.
I'm the one
I
who
don't
haven't even
remember.
opened that one.
it.
It's still in this little
But what
plastic.
what I will say is, like, before that, I was checking my achievements. I was like, oh, I got about 70% of the achievements done without even really trying. Let me see what the rest of them are. This is a super, super, really ridiculously easy platinum. I'll probably go for that. And after that, I was like, nope, not doing. I'm never playing this game ever again.
Penny wants to comfort you through this.
I
apparently.
appreciate
Yeah.
that, Penny. She can tell. I'm,
Yeah.
yeah.
So final scores. John, are you ready to score it or
No,
not?
not at all.
Yeah.
Tentative, Richard?
I was
I
like I said, when I started out this game, I thought I was going to be like around a 9. Like that's where I thought I was going to
Oh,
be
no, John.
because it is like the world itself is really fun to explore.
Yeah.
And there's cool characters that are just interesting to listen to. Even the more basic ones that are kind of just like military people or whatever, they're still fine for what they do. And just like the crazy stuff you can stumble upon, like the testy festy or the mission where you have to go after the P tape.
Oh my God,
yeah. That one, or like there's a mission with like an alien gun in this one, and
Dude,
that was fun.
That thing is so OP.
Yeah, right.
Like I stopped using it. I used it for an hour or two after that just to try it out, and then I was like, "This is there's no challenge." So I put that bad boy up and never used it again. But man, that thing was awesome.
But you know, and that was really fun. I had a blast doing that. I always have a blast with like the hunting and the fishing and all that, and taking the outpost. But
I
then,
like hunting.
as I said,
I like fishing.
I would start doing these
I like
things.
taking outposts.
Yeah, right. And 3 things: America,
Hunting,
outpost,
fishing,
guns,
drinking beer.
and fishing. Wait, that's 4.
I think it's a country song.
Probably. Sam,
I
what's
really
his name?
think it
Sam,
is.
whatever, the country guy right now.
Sam Hunt.
Yeah, there
He
you go.
doesn't. He does. He's not that country.
I don't know.
He's more of a pop country. He's got a great voice though. Looks good. Yeah.
Oh,
Women
grab
like-
my gun
people like him.
here.
No,
Someone
that's
like
Blake.
that?
That's Blake Shelton.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
I thought that was Leanne Rhymes.
Oh,
Whoa.
dang.
Whoa.
I can get pretty high. But yeah, like as I would go around doing these things, and all of a sudden I get pulled out of it every single time by progressing the story, not because I really want to, but because the game's like, no, we're going to progress the story now. And as much as I enjoy the performances still of those people, it just like, it's in such juxtaposition, or however you say that word, of what the world is like, where it's just fun and it's lighthearted. It's like, here's this serious thing, and it's nonsensical in what they're saying, and it just pulled me out of it every single time.
The tone was really. I got mood whiplash so bad in that game
Yeah.
because it would be like.
What's the freaking
Yeah.
score?
What's your Richard?
But anyways, I'll give it 7.5 Richards.
Oh,
I think it's a good game.
you're right on par with the internet.
Yeah, now I'm below.
More
They're
generous.
like an 80 or something like that. I'm below. And I mean, I thought about going lower, but the world itself is fun. And there's fun things. It's just like, I wish they would make it that you didn't get kidnapped all the time. If they did that, then this game would probably be more like an 8 or an 8.5 for me. But 7.5. That's where I'm at. How many Richards would you give it, Casey?
I was leaning toward an 8, and then I got to that ending. It's like, nope, 6.
Whoa. There you go.
Dropped it down.
See, he doesn't have, he has guts. He
But
just,
do you see how he
Knife.
did it?
yeah,
Do you see how he did it, Chris?
I can't do that. I just can't. I'll
Thanks for
never-
having Polygon on the show today.
Oh, how am I on Polygon? I don't even agree with them. but
They gave it a 6.5.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's average, isn't it, guys? That's average, right?
Sure.
That's like the old college.
Give
try,
him the
right?
wink, John.
You guys want to do some news?
Sure.
At this point, no.
Ouch! I'm sorry, John.
Hot off the press and straight to your ears. Weekly Games Chat presents the news.
Electronic news.
What?
What?
Did
Did
y'all
we get it wrong?
Yeah.
This isn't emails?
No.
Sorry,
and both
man.
of y'all said electronic news.
We did not
How
work
did
on
you-
that.
They were working on a bid.
They
all
were
week.
literally on, like the same time, the same delivery.
I was gonna say it, and then like John stereoed me.
What just happened?
He knew.
I'm disappointed in you, Baron. What?
What a silly thing to be disappointed in.
First up, don't touch my TV. All right.
That's messed up.
First
John.
up, Fortnite continues to break records. It now good writing, John. It now
look at that
holds,
headline.
Yeah, it now holds the YouTube record for the most uploaded videos of a video game in a single month in the history of the platform. One event brought 100 of the top Spanish-speaking Fortnite streamers together on the platform, drew over 42 million live views. It set the biggest single living game stream. Or live, I'm sorry. Yeah, the single live gaming stream with 1.1 concurrent views.
I'm sorry that PUBG is irrelevant.
I don't think it's irrelevant. I just think there's
it's
a
fine.
wave of
It's a good
Fortnite.
thing I was kidding.
Yeah, good thing
Because
I
I
was
could
too.
not possibly back that up with facts.
Has he sold PUBG off yet?
Who?
I don't know. I don't think
PUBG.
so.
Oh, the guy? No.
Oh,
Or-
I would
or
sell
pub-
that thing so hard.
If he,
Or
unless he's
player.
really passionate about doing that for the rest of his life, I would sell it if I were him and
Yeah.
just go make something new.
I guess what I'm saying is like Fortnite's got a giant studio behind it, and
Yeah.
PUBG's got a dude.
He's got like
He's a
little
rich
bit of
dude.
studio.
Yeah, he's a rich dude.
Oh, whoa.
What?
This is not 1980.
I
You
was
can't
just-
just do that.
I was doing some things.
John, need you to move your arm so I can say, Sea of Thieves is a hit. I meant like put it down.
You should probably switch those two.
Oh, yeah.
That would probably be the
No, because then I have this in my way.
I wouldn't touch the back of that leg right there. It's a
But
little sweaty.
Sea of Thieves is a hit. Rare announced
Otherwise, it'd be
that Sea of Thieves is Microsoft's fastest selling new IP of the current generation. It's also the best selling first party game on Windows 10. A week after release, the game has hit 2 million players. It's important to note that it's not known how much of the audience is accessing the game via Game Pass. The game also had a success on streaming platforms with more than 100,000 players streaming since launch. Less than 2 weeks after release, a Sea of Thieves player had already hit level 50 and achieving Pirate Legend status, opening up post-game content not yet seen by players.
It sounded like you almost fell asleep reading that.
Yeah.
It's also known that all 2 million players quit playing the game.
That's funny. While I'm happy for Microsoft, I'm like, when I read this, I was like, wait a minute, you've only had it's the fastest selling new IP of this current gen. And it's like, you look at Microsoft's new releases that were not, series already.
No, they're.
It's like Sunset Overdrive, Quantum Break,
This is what they did, Chris.
and maybe Ori. I don't think Ori counts though, because that's Moon
They're
Studios.
counting the 1X as the new generation.
That'd be even more hilarious.
Like, yeah, since the 1X,
Since the
best selling
past,
it's the only.
The past 4 months,
So-
man.
I was like, when I read that, I was like, man, that's some PR speak right there.
Yeah.
But 2 million's still good.
But it shows people were interested.
Yeah.
And if they can capture it like the Division did and get some of the people back that maybe did leave a little bit,
Sure.
that might be. That's when I might jump in and be on a pirate ship with you, John.
The
Don't
part-
make us any promises.
I'm not.
5 years from now, Sean's going to
you
be
won't.
playing.
They'll
Sea
be
of
like,
Thieves.
"Hey, you want to join us?" And they'll be like, "Nah, man, just kidding."
That's fine.
I'm looking for raid right now. I'm good.
the thing that caught my eye is less than 2 weeks after 2 weeks after release, a Sea of Thieves player has already hit level 50.
Just one.
Yeah,
Just one.
Just the one. Out of those 2 million, only one of them got
Yeah.
played.
He's like,
One
I
guy.
have no life. Just kill. Loot.
Well, the guy already has been criticized in the
You sound
Sea of
amazing.
Thieves community because
Yeah.
Is he a troll?
they said he's been reaching level 50 by way of streaming and having the community help them with things and help them get to this level. How do I defeat this?
That's what that's for.
They don't like.
I'm not a part of the community, right? You know that, right?
John, why are you the
why
messenger?
did you read that?
But
you all know your last name is
I will finish this sentence. Darn you all. But they're saying it's a lot different than if you're going solo. You don't have access to a community, a huge community of people telling you how to do things in a game.
That is ridiculous.
Maybe they're just all dumb.
You don't see whether you reject the argument or not. You don't see the validity of the argument.
I don't either, because
it's a game.
He'll literally stand there until his community tells him things to do.
You're right. It's just a new age equivalent to when you went to school and you talked to your friends at lunch about where you got in said game at that time.
Okay, Roger Clemens,
and then went home and did the thing. Steroids, I guess. I'm not on steroids.
This pirate was juicing, and you know it.
But here's the thing: like, this isn't Myst. Like, there aren't like these big complicated puzzles. Like,
it's a pretty simple game.
You can have a brain.
I'm out. I can't hear myself. Did I do it? This is my
problem. No, you're still there.
You're still here.
Your
keep talking.
You're fine. Every week you got to bring up something about the audio on the air, and it drives me nuts, Baron.
You're killing me, Baron.
We got hand signals. Did you not get the trade in? I mean the template. We got hand signals. We're pros, dude.
Was it in that Google Cloud document or something?
You should probably speak into the mic though.
Funny AF.
I'm right here, man.
You're not.
He's good.
I'm literally right here. There's
okay,
my
so
mouth.
now you're good. There you go.
Hey, funny AF, dude.
You know what's also funny? Hellblade.
Finally.
Wait, no, it's not.
Yes, it's actually.
Hellblade is finally coming to Xbox One and will be released on April 11th. The game will feature. Okay, Ric Flair just showed up with the drip.
No, I just been wanting to play this for a while.
The game will feature enhancements for Xbox One X. A 10% discount will be given to anyone who purchased the game within the first week of release, which is what I think they also did on PlayStation. Yeah, go pick it up. John and I both enjoyed that game, I think. Right?
Yeah, I remember sitting here and thinking you guys liked it.
See, that game actually had a statement to say. It said stuff about, like mental health.
Oh my God.
Mental health isn't good for you.
Yeah. Like you should.
But it was also a linear game.
It was, and it worked. No Man's Sky.
Very easy to tell.
You know what's not a linear game? This one.
Other games coming to Xbox.
Yeah, No Man's Sky comes to Xbox. Hello Games has announced that the Open Universe game will be available for Xbox One this summer. Along with that release, Hello Games will release No Man's Sky next. Almost read like Skynet, which is scary. This will be a free update to all players and is the game's biggest update so far, although little is known at this time.
Open world? No.
Open universe. Like, all right, guys.
That game already exists on Xbox. It's called Elite Dangerous, right?
Elite Dangerous looks amazing.
Yeah.
And I will not play that because...
it requires so much work.
Yes.
To do so little. I don't have that time. PlayStation VR gets a permanent price drop.
Yeah.
Sony has announced PSVR will now be $299 for good. That's down from $399. The bundle will include a headset, a PS camera, and a digital copy of Doom VFR. Sony is expecting a huge year with PlayStation VR. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Sony is expecting a huge year of PlayStation VR with over 130 games expected to be released by the end of 2018.
It's a lot of games.
That is a lot.
It's the best games.
They're okay.
Everyone, I wish
everybody
none of
them.
us have a PlayStation, or buddy Jeff does, but no one has a PlayStation VR, and I wish someone did just because.
Why do you keep looking at me?
DJ Money?
Come on, people.
I would like to see him play that Moss game because everyone's had a lot. Yeah, I've read good things about that.
I'll go buy it today.
Overwatch World Cup. Casey doesn't care about this at all.
What is Overwatch?
I keep getting the Twitch alerts.
I wrote him a big old thick piece for it.
Oh, you like to give him a big old thick piece whenever he comes on, don't you? That's your goal.
You got to say something back, John. You got to say something back.
How can I? It's true.
Yes.
You got that? We got it. Okay, we got it.
Isolate that.
With the
save
thickness?
it for.
I'm down with the thickness.
Wow, that's what you went with.
Sickness, John.
Thickness.
It's sickness.
I has a lisp.
That sounds like it's gonna be an Arby's commercial, right? That's gonna be an Arby's commercial.
We have
someday.
the thickness.
It will be, yeah.
We have
down with the thickness. Anyways, Blizzard has announced the start of this year's Overwatch World Cup. The average skill rating of the top 150 players from each country will be tracked starting today and continuing until the end of competitive season 9 on April 28th. The top 20 countries will be invited to participate in the competition. The qualifying countries will form their own national competition committees made up of a general manager selected by Blizzard and the coach and community lead, who will both be selected by votes. From June 1st to June 5th, tryouts will be held where players can compete to represent their country. The competition and finals will be held from August to November. In other news, Overwatch's Uprising seasonal event will return on Tuesday, April 10th. This will rewind time to give players the opportunity to relive a key moment in the Overwatch past and dive into stories of the game's heroes. We all know South Korea is probably winning this, or China, right? Like, it's going to be one of those two countries.
It's always South Korea.
Yeah.
Always.
Everything.
But
always.
It's fine. It'll still be fun to watch.
Or maybe
those old French fellas did a pretty good job last time at the World Cup. But
there's usually, Russian players, too, that are
I've never seen
mix.
a Russian Overwatch player.
I guess I also saw in Dota. That was where I'd see
That's
it.
that's probably accurate.
They don't care about Overwatches. They're like, what is this hope and optimism? We live in Russia.
Exactly. No, we don't need that.
So we got our games for gold and PlayStation Plus for the month. On Xbox, you will get The Witness, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Disney / Pixar's Cars 2.
Yes! You should have just said Disney Pixar's.
Yeah.
You're dumb.
Why didn't you just say Pixar?
Why ain't you? I don't know.
Dead Space 2. Man, that's a terrible game. And then on PlayStation Plus, you can get Mad Max and, of course, everyone's favorite game, Trackmania Turbo.
Yeah.
In Space We Brawl, 99 Vitas. And Q-Bert
ain't
rebooted.
Xbox. Those Xbox ones are knocking it out of the park.
That might be the best month.
That's two of them that I'm going to get because I already own The Witness. If it weren't for that, I would have picked that up too. But Assassin's Seed, I'm changing it. Syndicate, that looks
that's pretty fun.
And Dead Space 2, I'll pick both of those up.
Okay.
In case
John, are you going to play any of those? Because you've already played all of them except The Witness.
Not interested in The Witness, but
yeah, it's too hard for you.
Yeah, it's you are dumb.
I'll download Dead Space 2. No problem.
Okay. No, you don't need Assassin's Creed Syndicate on the Xbox One X. Just think it could be 4K enhanced.
It's not enhanced. It's not.
How did the Star Wars look on there?
Have you watched it yet?
Oh, I haven't watched it yet.
Mm-hmm. System Shock update.
Sean Marriage.
Yeah, I'm the same guy right here.
If she loved you, she'd watch it again.
I even had the surprise Blu-ray coming to me, and I ruined the surprise because I went and bought my own Marriage.
And that's funny. That is marriage right there. System Shock Remake has now received an updated release window of Q1 2020. The game was kickstarted back in 2016 and received some significant development delays. According to director Larry Cooperman, our intention is to ship exactly the game that was promised with as much of the features that were promised as we can in a time frame that will get it out as fast as we can. Our expectation is probably Q1 of 2020. I think that means it's coming out after System Shock 3, right? Because isn't that due next year?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I
what I thought.
have heard nothing about System Shock.
Who's working on that?
I can't remember.
Hopefully
some
not these
studio.
guys.
No, that's good though
That's
that
not
they're
a Ken Levine's thing, is it?
no.
I wouldn't
no.
imagine so.
Ken Levine's off looking at butterflies and being like, how can I make that into Comstock or Andrew Ryan or something?
What did he just say?
I have no idea.
I'm down for it.
He's kind of in his own little world right now.
He's alluding to the fact that BioShock Infinite took approximately 20 years to finish.
Probably. Jurassic Park Evolution. Frontier Developments Dinosaur Park Management Sim will be released on June 12th for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. No Switch love on that
It's
one.
fine. We got
Seems
other people.
silly, though.
We got other stuff.
And physically on July 3rd for PS4 and Xbox. According to creative officer Johnny Watts, that just sounds like a
That
porn
is
name.
a pretty cool name.
A porn name?
What kind of porn are you watching?
I was going for
You're thinking-
superhero
You're
or
thinking
something.
of Johnny Cox, spelled Cocs.
You can't say that, John.
I spelled a name.
Yeah, that's true. Good cover.
Good
job.
like from Scrubs,
Proud
there's
of you.
Dr. Cox.
He's learning. Yeah.
Sorry, Johnny Penis.
I'm not saying a word right now. That's hilarious.
I know.
Oh
Johnny
my
Watts
God.
just feels like a guy who would just come in and be like, hey,
Was
I'm
it,
Johnny Watts. And
Introducing.
What was that line from Family Guy? Don't get penisy.
oh, yeah.
Johnny
That's from the Star Wars one. Don't
Oh,
get
yes.
cocky.
Okay.
Don't get penisy.
But anyways, Johnny the Watts says, as longtime fans of the entire Jurassic series, we're thrilled to be putting players in charge of their own Jurassic World. We're excited to bring over 15 years of management, simulation, and creature development expertise to a destination and franchise that remains an inspiration to us.
It has potential. I'd
I
like
hope
to.
it's good.
I would hope it's good. I could
I don't
raise some
I don't
velociraptors.
I don't want to micromanage in a video game.
I think
Well,
that.
Why?
that's why you don't
because
play
life finds a
SimCity.
way.
But the thing is, you could
Yes.
put like somebody
Clever
in the
girl.
raptor pen and then delete the ladder, right?
Exactly. It's like that's why you play The Sims, so you can put people in rooms with no doors.
That's not why I played The Sims.
Oh God.
I just like to put them in pits that they can't escape ever.
Sounds like something Johnny Watts would say.
Right?
No.
That sounds like something Buffalo Bill would say.
Would you?
Your personal lotion. Oh, sorry. COD DLC pack announced.
Not fish, John.
COD.
You see, John.
You see, John.
Yeah. Activision has
Well,
announced.
this makes this sound different now.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Activision has announced the second DLC pack for Call of Duty World War II, which will introduce 3 new maps, a new mode with aerial combat, and more Nazi zombies. 9! The War Machine's new maps include a secret German V2 rocket facility, the Pyramids of Giza, and the iconic French city of Dunkirk.
Oh, Chris's favorite movie of one time.
He's in.
It's an awesome movie. The Shadowed Throne presents the next installment of Nazi Zombies. You can give me another 9? 9! Thank you. Which takes players to Berlin to face off against Dr. Straub and his undead... Or Straub? I don't know.
Straub.
Yeah, whatever. And his undead army.
I mean, it's just words, Chris.
I don't know. I'm just
With, accepted pronunciations.
Yeah,
and,
just literally look at it and say it.
Hey, I don't live by your rules.
Don't make up words.
Webster.
Just read what's there, Chris.
Lever.
See what I'm
Wow.
Level 5 moving the Switch. Level 5, the developer behind Yoki Watch.
Yokai? Yokai Watch.
I don't know what that is.
Everything you just said.
It's like a Pokemon type thing, but it's called Yokai Watch.
Professor Layton?
Yes.
I'm doing that wrong. Nino Kuni intends to be a big supporter of Nintendo Switch going forward. Basically, in the future, our main titles will be released on Nintendo Switch, according to CEO Hino. We'll just go with Hino. I'm not going with that first
It's actually
word.
Hino.
Yeah, whatever.
Akihiro.
Akihiro Hino.
Yeah. We'll just go delete this and just say CEO from now on. The idea is that what we have created for 3DS will move over to Switch. Makes sense.
I was getting excited to maybe see the original Nino Kuni come here, but I guess not.
No, I don't think so, because I think Sony had something to do with the production.
He just says things. It may or may not be true, John. There's still hope.
He said, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He didn't say it with any certainty.
there have been
With certainty.
there have been
certainty.
other Nino Kuni games on 3DS.
What?
So
Wait, there's not only just 2
There
of them.
Nino Kuni has been on 3DS?
yeah, I believe so.
I thought
Hold on a
Nino
second, let me
Kuni...
just- They're not like main installments like
Nino
this.
Kuni,
They're
Nino
kind of
Kuni,
more-
Nino Kuni, Nino Kuni. I thought that was the first game in the series.
Ever, right?
I think that
Yeah.
one, but I mean, like after the fact, I think they released a couple of 3DS games. Remember, this is like 2011 or 10, so it's been a while. Thank you. Finally this week. My name's Chris, and I like to Hi, my name's Chris, and I like to get people off.
We are just completely covered in it.
Yeah.
What, John?
Wait a minute. Ready? Finally this week. Doom gets the 4K treatment. I feel like I should do this as a resident of Montana.
I like it when you're so
patch.
extra.
There we go. A new patch for Doom that adds 4K support for PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox One X has been released. John has cranked it up on PS4 Pro.
What?
It was awesome. That's all. All right, y'all can go drink me a beer.
You played this game on PS4?
He doesn't play it on Switch because it doesn't run well.
Wow.
That's what they say.
Speaking of words in your mouth.
I was. I traded in.
There was never a break. We never had a problem.
Not twice.
But Sean, to
especially not
answer
twice.
your question, I played Doom originally on the Xbox, but I was looking for a sweet deal.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He doesn't care about you, John. He doesn't.
But
He
when
doesn't
this,
do it like I
but
do.
when this update came out, and I was like, crap, I don't have Doom on Xbox One X. I got it on PlayStation 4 Pro.
Okay. You beat it already?
I beat it on Xbox One,
Uneasy.
but then I traded it in.
You did what?
But I picked it up on PS4 because it was, I think,
That
maybe
was
$6
some nice
on
Hope
a
County you slid in there, by the
So
way.
what
PS4?
So what you're saying is
PS4.
I have it on PS4.
A
Ask me
harrowing
why.
tale.
Why do you have it on PS4,
I
John?
don't know.
So,
I just don't know.
So you guys want to wrap this up?
Never.
Okay.
Like,
Oh wait, emails.
electronic mail.
Emails
Email. Oh. Wait,
From the future.
from the future. I like how they come from the future.
They do, except for the other ones that didn't. What?
If you want to write in,
Oh, you do this like this? Yeah, you do.
and I wish Casey would still write in, but instead he just
he does
finagles
sometimes.
his way onto the podcast instead. I don't know why. You can do that by writing us at weeklygameschat@gmail.com. That's weeklygameschat@gmail.com, just like Aaron did.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey guys, I totally failed you. SteamWorld Dig 2 email. Oh, is me. That's right, because we were like, oh, it's Aaron, but it wasn't Aaron because he didn't put that on there, so we weren't sure it was actually him. But he said, yeah, that actually is me. So also,
Yeah.
okay. Also, Booby Johnson on Twitter is me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Oh, kids. I literally made one to follow you guys. Thought you might get a laugh out of it.
And we
did. Yeah.
Yeah. To
Also,
this day.
below is a picture of me charging my Switch at work to play during lunch.
That sounds like something I would do.
I'm framing that and putting it on my desk.
There you go. Anyways, that's all game on. So
Check out that image. That is amazing.
there it is. It's charging.
That's a nice little setup. He's got like
Right?
a four
Is he a
plugger.
teacher? I mean, that looks like a.
Yeah,
No, that's
four
it.
pluggers. The way to go.
Yeah, it's a we don't have a four plugger.
Oh dear God!
No, no.
I sometimes four plug. Wait, what?
What?
Clay writes in and says, "Hey there, fellas.
What's the subject of this email?
Finally this week.
Twice in one
Sorry.
show.
Hey.
Hey there, fellas. There's so many clips of just us going. Hey there, fellas. Got to finish a little game in my backlog called Assassin's Creed Origins. I gotta say, it was a bit grindy, but very fun and finished. It was awesome to see origins of the actual Brotherhood. What did you guys think of the game as a whole since it's been out for a while now? Been a while. Where do you want to see the next game go from this point? Look forward to all of your all's views and game on.
Game on, Clay. Thanks for that email. I just want to see Ezio come back because he's the greatest. I'm kidding. I just wanted to get a look from John. Nothing? Y'all just going to make me feel very uncomfortable for saying that?
How's
Yes.
it feel?
Does it fear?
If you're looking for a game that really spells out the origins of the Brotherhood, you will be sorely disappointed by Origins because it doesn't really do it.
I disagree.
It does it to a point. Oh, that's how they get
I
the
don't-
symbol.
I don't like.
That's just,
I don't like your tone right there.
It showed how
Did you play the game?
No.
Shut up.
I didn't.
Well, I mean,
I
it
didn't
gives-
want to play this game. I
it
didn't
kind
know.
of gives at least the viewpoint of the first Grand Master and what kind of made her go to finally do what you did.
Oh man, I thought you said something totally different.
Same.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, wow.
I was hoping
Wow.
that for this game. But anyways, I really love that game. I think John, you're in agreement.
Yeah,
with me.
it
We both
would be. I didn't finish it by the time we did our top 5.
Yeah,
It would have been in my top 5.
it was in my top 5. So,
Did you finish it?
Oh, I finished all over it.
Okay.
where would I like to see them go next? I don't know. I mean, I'm cool with just stepping back and saying, give me something interesting, because that studio for the most part picks cool places. Maybe something like India would be interesting. I
I
don't
feel like
know.
Montana.
Hope County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
They could do it with cults
Yeah.
and maybe religious fanatics.
And then people could be disappointed because it didn't have a message.
Right? Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. There's more of a message
It's like-
in Assassin's Creed Origins.
It's like, well, we have already got the map and we love to recycle stuff, so
We'll just go with it. Look, there's an assassin here now, and he's the sheriff. He's a rookity. I don't know. India would be cool, though. Russia would actually be really interesting, I think, especially if like you went up to the end of the actual monarchy there and the rise of communism. That would be a cool setting for a game.
I'd like to see him stick with ancient empires for the time being.
That would also be cool.
I think something really worked with that formula.
Greece? Haven't done that. Could do Sparta.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I was
Or
more thinking
Alexander.
of Byzantine and stuff like that.
True.
All good.
Dano once again writes in. He says, hello, dudes.
What's up, Dano?
Hope you're all well. Love your discussion last week about the console wars.
Gracias, mi amigo.
I have another question following up what you talked about. How do you feel about PlayStation not playing nice with crossplay? Do you think it works in the favor? Do you know the real reason why they're doing this? Is it to make people buy only PlayStation in the PlayStation ecosystem, or is it a bigger issue altogether? P.S. What would you like, or what would you say would be your favorite game of all time on the PS4 to date? PPS. Which PlayStation classic would you like to see on the Nintendo Switch? Thank you for an amazing podcast. Your friend Dano.
Thank you for that email,
That
Dano.
was very well done, Dano. Let's see.
I
I mean, you kind of said it. Yeah, the issue is that they have the most people on their console, and they want to give people incentive to only play on their console. And the easiest way to do that is to say, screw everyone else, or really screw the other consoles. We'll just let you play with them, and then you can play with PC people if you want, because we're not competing with them.
I think John hit it on the head pretty good last time when he said that they're at the top right now. They don't need to make adjustments for people. You know, they're kind of owning the market.
I mean,
is that right, John? Did I quote you correctly?
On the nosy.
On the nose.
I think they'll only do it if like there is true public outrage. Like there would have to be a very large swell of people giving them negative.
Yeah.
There would have to be a ton of negative press coming their way, kind of like how Xbox did with the whole entire DRM issue back when they launched the console. It'd have to be something like that where they don't have a choice.
Well, it's verifiable that when a console's losing, and I use that term very loosely, they innovate more.
Yeah.
They come up with really great ideas that cater to an audience because they're trying to. When you're in survival mode, you come up with a lot of great ideas.
You come out swinging,
and
John.
Xbox has come up with the best ideas this generation.
For sure. Definitely. Agreed.
So PlayStation 4 has, like Sean said.
John said.
Yeah. I mean, where are they at now? 70 million?
Something like that.
Ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't need to change for nobody.
They're officially at lots.
It's not a question of what's best for the industry. It's a question of what's best for shareholders.
Yeah, I think it's more of, if it's going to reset and happen, I think it will happen whenever this new generation hits. That's probably the most likely scenario. As far as your question, though, my favorite PS4 game to date.
It's not going to be Last of Us, I'll tell you that much.
No, it's not. Probably right now it would have to be The Witcher 3, easily.
What?
You played that on PlayStation?
I did. On my PlayStation 4 Pro.
I'm throwing a flag out right now of BS-ness. You played it on Xbox.
No.
I could have
Jeff
swore
played
you
it
played
on
it.
Xbox.
I could have swore you played it on Xbox.
See, that's 2 out of 3.
Well,
I mean, never mind. I was about to drop your gamer tag.
I mean,
I could have sworn your gamer tag was
I'm
under
okay with
compare
being
achievements.
wrong. And
Oh no!
it.
I like facts here, so let's just do this real quick.
Do this.
He's
Oh,
taking
no,
us
no.
to his trophy
This
list.
is a fun detour for them.
So right
Oh.
now, Our monitors changed. Chris's PlayStation account's being pulled up. You may hear it. You may recognize those sounds in the back. Oh, and there's this thing. You hear that? Yeah. You hear the bar.
Let's see what's right there. Witcher 3.
That means nothing.
Oh,
that means
okay.
nothing, Jon Snow. Go show me your trophy list.
Do, 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 do.
And yeah. Oh, you did really good on the fractured butthole.
Right?
Usually does.
Yeah.
God, it's so far down here.
That's
Been
what-
so many things.
Oh my god, I can't seem to pull it up.
Yeah, I see.
That's what she said.
I'm pretty sure you just downloaded it when it was free.
Oh, look at there.
And
A paltry 48%.
that's it?
Actually, it's 57%. of the
57.
Oh,
menu.
yeah, all the
So you just
expansions.
logged in.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
pretty much. Yeah.
You put it on easy mode and just went with it.
I'm trying to think.
Why
of my
not?
favorite game on the PlayStation 4.
Go back to your games, Chris. It may freshen my memory. I really did think of The Last of Us. I love that game.
Off the top of the dome.
Well, there it is. No Man's Sky.
I think for me, it's Dishonored 2.
That's a good call.
He's not going to say mine's a good call because he don't like it.
What is it?
Either Finch or
No,
Prey.
no.
Yeah, he's putting it
Xbox One X enhancement. No, that's not true. Yeah, that's not true.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. Thanks for the
What-
email. And what was the final one?
Which game from the PlayStation would you like to see on Switch?
Oh.
I think he said like classic PlayStation, didn't he?
I don't think he said
Or
that.
maybe
Hold
just-
on.
Oh,
I don't know.
Well, we can go back and see though.
we gotta go back.
Let's go back.
I think Ratchet and Clank would
Oh
be
no, he
fun.
did say PlayStation Classic.
Oh, PlayStation.
Well, isn't Crash Bandicoot already coming?
I would say Metal Gear Solid,
Ooh.
maybe 2.
I would say Final Fantasy VII, along with all the other Final Fantasies, because everyone used to play Final Fantasy on Nintendo consoles.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and then
That's crazy.
Then they got old Cocky, Pete Cocky, that is. See what I did?
I do.
Yeah. Finally, Daniel writes in and says, "Hi,
Hey.
it's me, Daniel again.
Yeah, it is.
Finally got that 1S and Far Cry 5.
Hey.
Not much is going on. Please let me know if you can hit each other up on the DM sometime. Ooh.
That means direct message, John.
Ooh. School's tough and boring. And I've got state tests next week. Ooh, those are tough. I don't miss those.
At all.
Anyways, you guys are awesome. Let me know if you guys want to play Sea of Thieves or something.
Out.
Casey wants to play
Oh,
with you.
oh, wow.
I'll make sure Casey trades your trades profiles with you, so you know.
Does he have his thing?
What? Whoa.
Whoa,
Whoa, John?
His
John.
his name on Xbox. Has he given that in the past?
I can't remember, but if he
Go back and
does,
look.
we can say it. And if he tells me it's okay to share, I will share it with the world.
Hey, if you
Not the world.
if you
Maybe
share
just us.
if you share
We
your
are the world.
if you share your
Gamer tag.
gamer tag for Xbox, I'll show you.
He'll show
If
you.
you show me
No.
yours,
Is that what you just said to
No.
a kid in school that you want
I'll
to show you his?
mine. Quote, John Barron.
Let me just warn you, he's just a tease.
It
He
took-
won't do it.
It took
He
me,
really
Just
won't.
the tip, Barron.
it took a year before I met Aiden. So
Wow.
No.
Great show. You guys are awesome. Your mom's box. Hey, that's my line.
Thanks.
don't talk that way.
Sean, do we have any hit ups?
Very,
on the
very
Twitters?
minimal this week, so I'll keep it fast. I know we're hungry. I had tweeted out, but Nintendo had said there was going to be a new global test punch for ARMS, and apparently, guys, little did I know, but Miles Dingus let us know that it's now a great game for having a few beers along with friends.
Arms.
So who knew? Yeah, ARMS. Do you still play that game?
Yeah, Arms has added 4 fighters since it came out.
4? Huh.
We got a new follow from Joe and Biddy. Following you back at Joe and Biddy. We're still floating around in those.
What was that name again?
Joe and Biddy. We're still getting followed or flashed around in the follow Friday thing. I can't thank you guys enough. We got a lot of like happy Easter stuff. By the way, it was Easter. Happy Easter to people and Passover
Okay.
for people that
I had
cared
to-
about that.
I had some ham and
You did?
turkey.
We got a follow from at Dizzle662. Thank you, Dizzle. Followed you back. That's what's up. And the last thing I want to talk about
How's
was
Dizzle doing?
by our good friend at Ian the Cheez It. He said, and this was in response to our conversation last week about the PS4 sales. We even brought them up this week. He says, at Weekly Game Chat, pretty sure that the PS4 sales last month might just be people buying them to play Fortnite with their friends. That is actually a good point when you couple up with the sales we just talked about. And he said he's talked to so many people on squads who say that is their only reason for buying or plan on buying PS4 was to play Fortnite. Fascinating. So yeah, and if you want to join the conversation on Twitter and just say stuff to us on there, we're on Twitter at Weekly Game Chat.
That is true.
So yeah,
that's accurate.
It is.
Good job, Sean.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, that's why I'm here. So this has been episode 147, I think.
We really
it's either there or 48. It's one of them two.
That matters because 150 is kind of a milestone.
It's just another day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, when you get there,
I know.
It'll be when you guys get there, it'll be not that big of a deal.
Looking back on 150 was like,
just another day to me, whatever.
Just one more week. If you like the show, you can find us on all sorts of podcast services such as iTunes. And if you subscribe to us, you'll get a new episode every Wednesday, usually at midnight. That's usually when they drop. Fun fact.
Drop?
If they have a rating system or review system, drop us a line if you like the show. Because
and a 5.
Yeah, a 5, a line, whatever.
Well,
I don't care. Thumbs up.
Give us 100 for sure.
Yeah. They're like, I
always
give you a
go
5.
with the highest possible rating you can give us.
Exactly.
Well, Chris said to give him a 5, so
actually Sean said that.
I don't like when you touch
okay.
me, John.
Yeah, don't
Not
put,
there, John. John,
don't put foolishness
let go.
in my mouth. But anyways, safe space, John. Do it. Until next time.
That's it, huh?
Oh, I guess I should also say you can find us on Twitter and Facebook at Weekly Games Chat.
All the social
and
media.
of course, as we said before, you can email us at weeklygameschat@gmail.com.
Don't forget how we can check out Casey.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to plug? Do you care about that?
Yeah, I mean,
Do it for sure.
I love plugging.
Hey-o.
If you want to hear more of me, and it's not just me, it's 2 other more talented people.
Very.
It's geekversus.com, and we have a podcast there full of all weird and crazy stuff.
All things, y'all's tagline is something like all things
Nerds Eye View current events.
Yes.
So,
and when you listen to the intro, Tony goes,
so a couple.
We worked
I don't like that new intro. It's off-putting.
We're all trolls, so
Yeah.
that's half the point.
Does it still say things are about to get weird?
It
y'all keep
does,
that?
but like they go, things are about to get weird.
Oh, it
and
just
then
says it like that? Okay.
And then it just goes.
We spent
haywire
about
from
5 minutes just practicing different funny voices, saying it, and then sort of splicing it all together. So
Gotcha.
So they talked about Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
And
remember?
Tony said. So I
Yeah.
went to the movies with Chris and John from Weekly Games Chat, and Betty goes, ugh.
That makes sense.
To this day, I don't know. I'm really self-conscious. I've been losing sleep.
Okay, I will.
Will you tighten that up for us?
I will talk.
Otherwise,
yeah.
To be
We're gonna
fair,
have a snap off.
she was in the theater where when we went to go see Ready Player One. And the moment I walked in the room, I just heard and then when Sean walked in after me, there was a double So
Did
Nice.
was there an for me? I got an
no.
That sounds like a finally this week. Oh.
I'd be so excited if I got a That'd be
So
great.
yeah, you can check
So,
out
honey, this
my
time-
show, Geek Versus, and rate us all of the possible maximum.
They're a
stuff
great
too.
show. Good
But
people.
anyway,
We
There
love
you
them.
go. We like it when they do that. Casey, thank you for joining us.
Thank
this
you
week.
so much, sir.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You're a
Whenever
pro.
you want to invite yourself back on, you just let us know, and
I will
we'll
be sure to do
yeah,
that. In
yeah.
fact, I'll probably just show up next week. What
That's
up, guys?
Literally, that's
Fourth
how.
Mike.
To be fair, this is how they got on the show. So I was like, "Hey, do you
Wait
want
a
to come on?"
minute.
And then like next week, Sean was there again. I'm like, "Dude, that was last week,
Dude,
I was gonna say I've probably been on more episodes than John now because he was out for like
That's so
3
funny.
months.
That's true.
you did miss the first quarter of 2018.
Yeah,
Two things.
I haven't missed one yet.
Who's yeah, you have.
Nope, not one episode.
You have because we've like not recorded because of you or something.
Well, yeah,
What? Yeah.
That
That's
doesn't
true.
count.
You remember that
technically, 'cause-
episode when nothing happened?
yeah.
That's
That was
'cause-
because Chris wasn't there.
Yeah.
When
We
the
about ready
stuff's
to
at
go
your
eat some
place.
Chipotle though?
I am.
Yeah,
I'm always ready.
Let's do this.
So
Let's-
until next time, game on, Sean.
Game on, Chris.
Game on, John.
Game on.
Game on, Casey.
Game on, Chris.
I did it wrong.
Game on, John. Thanks a lot.
You sound like some
You're a
hatchet
POS,
would
dude.
do. Game on, Penny. Apparently. Your mom's box.
Peace out, everybody. Have a good week.
You got anything? No.
No, never.
Okay, that worked.